Hey YouTubers, Nightwing19 here. So, big news, Spider-Man has officially joined the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now this is a big deal for many comic book fans because they finally get to see Spider-Man on the big screen with Iron Man, Captain America, and all the other Avengers. Around November, December last year, Sony was hacked and all of their emails were dumped on the internet. Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures were in talks about sharing Spider-Man, so now it's been officially confirmed. Here are some of the details. Sony Pictures and Marvel Studios are going to share Spider-Man. They're going to reboot the franchise, and they're going to release a new movie on July 28th, 2017. This new movie will be a part of Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 3. However, Sony Pictures will still own the character, and they will have final creative control over the character. Because this new movie is a part of the MCU, the July 28th release date in 2017 has already been taken by Thor 3, so Marvel decided to adjust their already planned Phase 3 movies. Thor 3 will now have a new release date in November 3rd, 2017, originally going to air on July 28th, 2017. Black Panther was going to premiere on November 3rd, 2017, but now they have moved it into the following year, July 6th, 2018. Captain Marvel was going to release on July 6, 2018, but now they've moved it to November 2nd, 2018. Inhumans was originally going to premiere on November 2nd, however, they moved it to July 12th, 2019. So the full MCU Phase 3 lineup is Captain America Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians 2, Spider-Man, Thor Ragnarok, Avengers Infinity War Part 1, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Avengers Infinity War Part 2, and Inhumans. So the Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and 2 have remained unchanged. However, Inhumans has been pushed after Infinity War has been released when it was supposed to release before then. So because they're rebooting Spider-Man, that means that the role of Spider-Man is going to be recasted. So that means that Andrew Garfield will no longer play Spider-Man. I'm kind of disappointed about this because I really did enjoy the story that they were telling with the Amazing Spider-Man movies. There was a great plot with the mystery behind Peter Parker's dad. I really wanted to see where that plot would go out because they have already mapped out Amazing Spider-Man's 3 and 4. So they really had this massive story that was going to play out in 4 movies. So I really wanted to see how big they were taking it. The reason for why the Amazing Spider-Man franchise is being cancelled is because it didn't make a lot of movie in the box offices. It only raised $700 million. You may look at it and say, well, that's a lot of money, but when you think about it from the studio's perspective, it's not. It was released in the summertime, so usually when movies release in the summer, they're usually expected to increase their value, like their income that they get from the box office, so they expected to reach $1 billion. I think now this new Spider-Man movie will be more successful because it's a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and more people will see it now because it's a part of Phase 3, and they'll see it now more than because they're going to see Spider-Man be part of the Avengers. So they want to see how this new Spider-Man interacts in the Marvel Cinematic Universe where all these Avengers play in. The Spider-Man reboot will feature the Peter Parker Spider-Man, so don't expect to see Miles Morales or any other characters who have played Spider-Man. I wouldn't say that they're afraid to make the movie based on some other Spider-Man other than Peter Parker. It's just that they want to use the more popular Spider-Man and someone who everyone is familiar with. Even if you don't read the comics, you probably know that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, so they're aiming towards the people who know Spider-Man well and for those who only know his secret identity. In addition to the movie featuring Peter Parker, I think what is best for everyone is to lower the amount of time spent on telling the origin story. Since there's been 5 Spider-Man movies in the past 10 years, the general audience is familiar with how Peter gets bit by a radioactive spider that gives him spider-like abilities, and then Uncle Ben dies and that pushes him to use his powers for the greater good. If they wanted to tell an origin story, I think what they should do is spend at least 5 to 10 minutes detailing everything we need to know about it, either in flashbacks or just in the first 5-10 minutes of the movie. Another detail is that Spider-Man will show up in an MCU movie before he debuts in his title film. The probable and more obvious movie that he's going to show up before he shows up in his own movie is Captain America Civil War, just because he was heavily featured in the comic book storyline. Since Captain America 3 isn't based on the Civil War comic, Spider-Man's world might be a lesser role, maybe even a cameo. When Spider-Man shows up in Civil War, they will address his origin in a minor way, and then in 2017, when he gets his title movie, they'll address it in a more major way, but small in the form of flashbacks maybe. If Sony wants to make money off of Spider-Man, the best thing for them to do is to save themselves the trouble of making an origin story based movie and instead tell that origin story in less than 10 minutes and devote the entire movie to tell a story featuring our favorite web slinger. Before movies are usually released to the public, the movie is reviewed by critics, and many people listen to what critics have to say, so they don't have to go waste $12 and 2.5 hours of their life watching a crappy movie. So they want to make this Spider-Man movie perfect the way that the fans have wanted it for so many years, and that will get them a lot of money for the studios, both Marvel and Sony Pictures now. So here's my question for you. Are you excited that Spider-Man is finally coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Leave me your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe for more updates on Spider-Man and the MCU. Subscribe to my other channel, Jedi Knight 450, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.